The following program is a PodcastOne.com production.
From Hollywood, California, by way of the Broken Skull Ranch, this is the Steve Austin Show.
Give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Now, here's Steve Austin.
Yeah, man, I got Lane Johnson sitting right in front of me over here at the studio. Marina Del Rey, California. Starting right tackle 3 times. Pro Bowl. Right tackle for Philadelphia Eagles. Welcome to the crib.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, you never would have guessed it would have been here, but damn it, it's here.
Finally.
What's
up?
Not a whole lot. Kind of resting right now. We don't start back with OTAs till late April. So right now it's fun time.
Hey, take a breath of fresh air because we were bullshitting about 5-10 minutes before everybody got all quiet when they hit that record button. It's funny how the dynamic changes. What we got going on in the room here, because there's a couple people rolling cameras. There's an NFL squad following you. What are we doing here? I mean, you're doing my podcast because you and me have been in touch for a while.
I don't know what I'm doing here. That man right there schedules all my stuff right there. His name's Brian. We got the NFL in here, getting that content going. I got my trainer, Gabe, so wherever I go, he goes. He makes sure I don't fuck up. So that's my dude right there.
That's your trainer?
That's my trainer.
Oh, because I've been on your Instagram account. I've been wanting to ask you some questions, so I'll get a chance because I guess some of it was done with you.
Yeah.
So the football season's over. You're out here in L.A., so you're doing content, but obviously you're here to take care of some business. I heard that yesterday you was in San Diego getting fitted for some clubs.
Yeah, I'm not very good at golf.
Dude.
Hey,
tell me about it.
Bad. It's really bad.
I'm really bad.
It's really fucking frustrating, too, because everything we do is with, reactionary, and it's just you in a club.
How often do you play?
Never. Every time, or usually when I go, it's with a buddy, or I'll be drinking I'll putt every now and then, fuck around, but taking it serious.
So then what was the impetus or the motivation to go get fitted for clubs if you don't ever play?
He plays. He loves it. Hey.
So that was a hookup.
There we go.
So what they say when your big ass goes in there, because they don't fit a whole lot of, what are you, 6'6"?
Well, they asked me what my size was, or my shoe size was, and I said 16. Well, we ain't got that. And they said, well, what's your glove size? Well, a 4X. He said, well, we ain't got that either, so you're fucked. So went out there and started slicing that sumbitch just like I normally do, and then when I got to started putt, that's what I take kind of serious because I'm decent at it. It's kind of hard to mess that up. So went out there and sunk about 5 straight and called it a day.
So are you gonna make it?
I like dabbling. It's just something if I could, be decent at it in my spare time, so I can go out there and have not embarrass myself. I'd like to do that.
Yeah, but here's the thing, man. I'm much older than you, since you're still in your formative years and you're networking. You're out there making deals,
trying to make a name.
Man, you are making a name, but at 29, you got a lot of years ahead of you. So if it's something that you can kind of go out there and half-ass and just have fun. Man, that's a great place to just network and make relationships and form business deals.
If it ain't doing that, I like to fish. That's what I like doing.
I was going to ask you about fishing.
Yeah.
But when you're out there on the golf course, if it ain't during the season, you're out there drinking. I mean, you like to drink beer out there?
Hey, don't ask me dumbass questions. I already had somebody ask me a dumbass question today. I didn't think it was going to come from you.
Hey, what are you weighing right now?
About 310.
310. He's 6'6", 310. Got his trainer standing next by and got cameras rolling. Don't think I won't jump across his desk. Put my foot up in your ass.
And walk it dry?
Yeah.
And walk it dry?
I will stomp a mud hole in your ass and walk it dry. Man, that's my problem. I go out there with my wife. There's a bunch of golf courses out there. We're in northern Nevada. We're by Las Vegas. And we get out there, and we ain't worth a flying shit. And, I'll get a couple beers in, and then it really goes to hell.
Yeah.
My problem is I'm so competitive, I think just because I'm an athlete.
You can't turn it off.
I should be good at anything I do. But it don't happen like that with a ball and a stick.
That pride will hit you in the face when it comes to that
sport. Right when I'm at my lowest, my wife will get out there.
And fucking crank one straight?
No. Like go out there and you take a couple of warm-up swings, and then all of a sudden you go for the real swing, and she'll miss it and spin around like a helicopter twice.
Make you feel a little bit better about yourself? Shit, I'm bad, but hey, I ain't that bad.
I'm over there laughing my ass off, but, I'll be ready to tee off, and then all of a sudden there'll be nobody out there, nobody pressuring us in any way, and all of a sudden I'm about to tee off, and here comes about 4, 5, 6 people, and the pressure's on, and I'm getting in shape for my shows, but I'm about halfway jacked up, so I'm figuring, it's all technique. Cause you see them little ectomorphs out there that weigh about $1.60, just pound that thing. So I'm just going to just crush it, and I'll tip that summit in a roll about 6-8 feet, and it'll be one of those.
That's what I was doing yesterday. I don't know. It's kind of, they're so fluid, and we're all we've been doing is cranking weights our whole life. We're fucking stiff, and it's hard to get, I guess, I don't know, to be smooth with it.
I got mulligan on top of mulligan. Hey, you growing up in Groveton, Texas, and I guess that'd be considered East Texas, right?
It's East Texas.
What's the population of that town?
Probably 600. I graduated with 33, 35.
I graduated with 110 out of Edna. And y'all was straight up 1A.
1A. Yeah, they were 2A back in the 80s, 90s. I think they're 2A now since it moved up, but when I was playing, we were 1A.
But that was regular football. It wasn't six-man.
No, we played both ways.
So, dude, I don't want to go over your whole history from top to bottom, but did you play quarterback just because you was the biggest, best athlete on the team?
Yep.
Was that story?
Yep. So started that in junior high, and then so I went to a different junior high school, and when I went there, I mean, basketball was the thing. So I grew up playing a lot of basketball, and then started playing football in 7th grade, and my dad played quarterback. That's what he did. He's a country dude. You'd be pretty entertaining.
Already used to rodeo.
Yeah. So country dude. Yeah, he was on the ghillie scene back in the day. So,
there you go.
Yeah, that's what he did. So, yep. Other than that, man, I never thought I'd be playing tackle. What started all that was when I went to OU and I played tight end. That's when you get that physicality because you go there, man. It's either play or you got to transfer somewhere else. So, man, I wasn't playing, and one of our guys got hurt, and then next thing I know, I was playing defensive end at the time. I was about 275, 280, and here I am.
Yeah, but it wasn't that. It was, I think he was walking around, and Josh Heupel.
Yeah, it was Heupel. Yeah, he asked
me.
Hey,
man, dude, what are you weighing? And you were like 280.
I said, holy shit. Yeah, so if you're going to be a rotational guy at DN, I mean, what they're doing now is they're getting all these ex-tight ends, big, long, lanky guys, and beefing the ex-basketball players, and that's what kind of tackle is going to now.
Hey, man, but I was watching you run down the field as a quarterback, man, for Groveton, man. You got some wheels on you, and you 4.72 at the combine. I mean,
I ran
speedy.
Yeah, I was never, like I said, I was never an offensive lineman. I was always a skill guy. So growing up, I mean, in high school, I ran the quarter, did shot put. Yeah, so shot put, just my buddies were out there fucking around. They weren't very good, and I went out there and chunked it. And they said, "Well, you're going to be in district next week." Goddamn, we ended up going to state and that. And so yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It's just a small town. You easily get overlooked by those powerhouses, Dallas, and those big schools. And shit, you go to JUCO, man. It's
Hey, man, before we go to JUCO, I got a story for you because, like, you wasn't planning on throwing a shot put. Why didn't you throw the discus with your big-ass long arms? You could have really whipped them out there.
I don't know. I just never did.
Hey, dude, when I was in junior high, that's when you could start running track at our school. And I figured, hey, man, I got some pretty good endurance. I'm going to be a long-distance runner. And so I'm sitting there. It's a grass track. I'm running around that summit, my tongue hanging out. And there's a dude over there named Russell Bitter. And he was throwing the discus, red in the face. Like, man, what the fuck is this guy doing? I said, yeah, that might be easier than running around this track. So I chucked it a couple times, and I threw it way farther than he did, so I started throwing the discus.
There you go.
I just figured you'd be a natural-born discus thrower.
Hey, we weren't that smart to think of that shit back in the day.
Hey, but going back to the JUCO days, you only played 1 year at Kilgore.
Yeah, so I knew my goal was either if I was going to get recruited there, I was going to walk on somewhere. I don't know if you've ever been to a junior. Oh, yeah, you did. You play. You know what it's like. 2
years.
It's survival.
You're damn right. It was an eye-opener for me.
Yeah, I went there first day, and there's, you have all these kids that you think signed, and I get there, and there's fucking 200 kids there. Line up, we're running, we're doing, it all hits you so fast. And these guys, a lot of these guys are Division I talent, can't make the grades, and, probably the best athletes I've ever played against. So it was, a lot of these guys are fucking, hood, gangster, they're hood, they're gangster. Different change of pace than where I was at.
Hey, man, I was down there in South Texas, and I played running back, and I played linebacker on defense. But I was the running back, and when I was senior, I was 205. Big for South Texas 2A school. Well, my line was about 160, so it wasn't a whole lot of line up there. So I ran a 4.940. I wasn't fast enough to run east or west, so I ran north and south. I was carrying motherfuckers down the field.
Micah Allstott?
Yeah. So I figured, man, I graduated out of high school because you get all the letters, right? Or you can get some.
Yeah.
And they're just like.
Your parents go crazy. Look what we got in here today.
Oh, and they think it's for sure deal.
Hey, man, this is what they send to everybody.
Letters. Yeah, those are the ones that everybody gets.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, when it came down to it, I had a full ride from Wharton County Junior College or a half ride to Texas Lutheran College. I can't do no half ride.
Yeah.
I ain't got the money, so I got to go full ride. So I played JUCO. I told my mom's best friend, I said, "Don't worry about it, Evelyn. I'll go to Wharton, make junior. I'll go to Wharton and make All-American in a couple of years and go to a big school." Shit, I found out, just like you said, there's either some guys that can't make the grade, and I'll leave it like that in a nice way.
Yeah.
And one dude up there in Tyler, he was dyslexic. And Ronnie Ducksworth, he broke all of Marcus Dupree's rushing records. And all of a sudden, I get up there in JUCO, man, and I'm like, hey, man, I thought this shit was going to be easy. And it was a complete eye-opener for me. And I never was pro material, but as a high school kid.
It's intimidating as shit.
Well, I was dreaming of it.
You go there and sit, and then reality hits you in your face.
Did you ever have the dreams of being, because, I mean, you was a good player, good quarterback, but then you're at Kilgore, then you go to OU. Did you think you could make it, because you were still trying to define your way, going from tight end to offensive? I mean,
it wasn't until really my
tackle.
senior year I knew that I was going to be in the NFL.
Right.
And so going to my senior year, it was like, he's a late day. We don't have enough film on him. We have 1 year at right tackle to see if he progresses. So I had that year to show what I was doing or what I was made of. So, yeah, I mean, other than that, man, we worked at we had a dude named Jerry Smith at A&M now, man. He worked the dog shit out of guys. And so he was tough. He commanded everybody to be tough. And if you weren't, you didn't last there long. So, I mean, spent 4 or 5 years with him, make you a changed man.
So why a guy come from East Texas? I was born in Austin, Texas. My mother's from Guthrie, Oklahoma. So whether I cheer for the Sooners or the Texas Longhorns, I got street cred because I got lineage. Yeah. Right? So a guy from Texas, and why the University of Oklahoma? Great, elite college, but why from a guy from Texas did you pick that school?
Well, I mean, I was begging guys out of high school. I was wanting to go to TCU. I would love to go to A&M. I would love to go to Texas. And I knew when I went to Kilgore, Texas was recruiting me some, but they don't really take JUCO guys. So after that, man, it was just really my high school coach played there, so he knew Merv Johnson, the recruiting coordinator. So what we would do during that summer, I knew I was either trying to get a scholarship or I was going to cat and mouse my way somewhere. And so I'd go visit OU, and on the way back home, I'd go visit TCU and say, well, OU's telling me this. And then I'd tell TCU, that's how we did it. And so I got offered, the day I signed with OU, I got offered in the morning by TCU. And my damn stepdad calls him and said, well, it's fucking 4th and 1 on the goal line, coach. What you going to do? He said he's about to go to TCU, and then eventually end up signing. So, yeah.
So you talking about cat and mouse, talking about just trying to work people, and
you know how they worked you, exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, so it felt good to pay it forward to them.
I can't remember the last time we talked, and that was just Skype conversation. I hate those, so I don't remember anything. But my cat and mouse deal was when I got signed to North Texas out of Wharton. Dude, from here to that door right there, I'm the fastest guy in this room. But beyond that, all bets are off. We're out there running 40s, and the head coach has got this perplexed look on his face. And my real name back then was Williams. Mm-hmm. And he says, Williams, come here. And they recruited me as linebacker, full scholarship. And I said, yeah, coach, what's up? And he goes, what's wrong? I said, nothing. He goes, you're running a 4.9 40. I said, yeah, what's wrong? He said, you coach at Wharton.
Hell yeah.
4.7.
Hell yeah.
I said, shit, coach, I ain't never run a 4.7 in my life.
Hey, them coaches, that's what they do. They give that sumbitch if he's a 4.85. Hell, he's a 4.68 today. That's how it was. And usually they put in the magazines, if you were 2.05, hell, you were 2.20. An inch taller.
Williams, get out of here. Hey, I was down there at Wharton, and I lived in Kilgore for a year, speaking of East Texas roots. And my brother was a student up there at the college. And I figured I'd go live with him for a summer and haul drilling mud, and that's what I did. So I was in there. I drive along with you every day and work out at the gym. I was lifting the heavyweights back then. So when I showed up at Wharton, I was in shit shape for cardio. Mm-hmm. So I had to deal where you had to run I think it was a mile in 12 minutes. A mile in 12 minutes ain't shit if you're going to be a good football player. Yeah. And, it gets hotter than shit down there about 60 miles south of Houston, a little bit on the humid side, especially when you've been drinking beer, hauling drilling mud, just pumping iron. And I was the last, loneliest motherfucker out there. And everybody was the whole team was standing there cheering me on. And I know some of them were saying, like, look at this stupid motherfucker with long blonde hair. And I thought I was going to die.
Hey,
I finally ended up getting in shape.
Yeah.
Hey, man, do you own or rent your home? Sure you do, and I bet it can be hard work. You know what's easy? bundling policies with Geico. Geico makes it easy to bundle your homeowners or renters insurance along with your auto policy. It's a good thing, too, because you already have so much to do around your home. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. It's Geico easy. Visit geico.com today. That's geico.com.
This is the Steve Austin Show.
Hey, when you went to OU, coming out of Kilgore, I mean, you obviously had the genetics. You know, from being tall as a high school kid, you're sprouting up, you're 220, you're starting to progress and mature. But when you get into that OU system, how did the weight program change? Because you're hanging around with your trainer right now. Mm-hmm. Like, what changed? I mean, and what kind of caloric intake? What did y'all have access to? Because you're in that elite program.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot different now.
And you must win.
Yeah, so it's a lot different now. They have a lot more, I guess, resources. Like back then, you had limited meals, and if you had extra pasta at fucking Olive Garden and you didn't pay for it, the NCAA was going to report on you. So, man, I got there, and there was my roommate at the time, Gabe Eichard, who played for the Titans for a little bit. He came in there as a tight end with me, and he went to center the year before I ever thought about moving. So I saw him gain from 250 to fucking 305 and pretty damn quick. And so I knew what was in store. So my thing was I wasn't playing, but everybody knew I was a freak of the team. Everybody knew I was some athlete. And so it was just a matter of time until I found my niche. And then, yeah, man, Jerry Schmidt, I mean, we get there, this dude, his explanation behind what he does. So we have about 5 different doors. There's one of them to a sand pit. There's one of them to the weight room. There's one of them to the track and field. He comes out this door, you're going to run stadiums and ramps. And, son, you be in that son of a bitch about, it starts at 5:30, you be in there at 5:20 just going, what the fuck is this dude about to bring to me? And he'd come out there and say, son, you don't know what the fuck's going to happen in the game. He said, you got to be ready for fucking anything. So that was life with him. And we did that, I mean, until you're playing, you're with him. Yeah. And so, you're with that guy all year round. You're eating 3 meals a day. And if you didn't make weight, so – yeah, this is the funny shit. So I've seen guys weigh in butt-ass naked before workouts. If they don't make their weight, they're underweight. You have to stay there and drink protein shakes until you make it. And I've seen the guy weigh 288, and he had to be 300 that day. So I saw him drink fucking 12 pounds of shakes, made his weight, went out there and threw up. That's what life was, man. It was chaotic. And at that place, you have to win. And it was the best thing for me. Was I happy at the time? No. Was it frustrating? Yeah, Kilgore was frustrating. But looking back, I think that's what it helped me in everything, adjusting to stuff.
What is your caloric intake right now? I mean, and like, what are you weighing right now?
310.
So what'd you weigh at the end of the season?
My playing weight is 320, 325.
Okay. So what'd you back off on? I mean, what do you?
I don't have to
take it in, brother.
I don't have to eat all the time. So in the off season, it just feels good not to, you're not on a regimen. But what we adjusted to, we went to this thing called the vertical diet, which is pretty much bodybuilding. Stand everything. Yeah. So we met with him, have all those meals shipped to the house, and that's really what I ate. Just a lot of clean carbs, eliminate the sugar, eliminate the bullshit. The ground beef. He says there's a lot more vitamins and nutrients in there.
Stan's a red meat guy.
Oh, I love just talking to him. Yeah. So yeah, that, and I just, man, to be honest, I fucking love the weight room. I just love, and I'm a meathead. And I just love being around. That's all I've been around my whole life.
So what is the vertical diet when you're talking about clean carbs? Because you just talking about sweet potatoes?
Are you talking sweet potatoes, carbs. A lot of the staple is white rice. And
you're trying to avoid sugar, right?
Trying to avoid sugar. He's real big on sodium intake. So
yeah, he is.
Yeah, sodium, equates to blood volume, equates to oxygen. So he's real big on doing that. And actually, with the Eagles, we have a thing called leveling. So during training camp, they'll test your sweat, and they'll test how salty or sweaty you are. And if you don't replace that salt, you're going to lose a lot of weight, water weight, which is blood. It's all ties in together. So, as you get on into the upper echelons, you start seeing some pretty unique people. So, yeah, we've had that since I've been to the Eagles. And just hearing Stan and him talk about it, become more knowledgeable about it. So pretty cool.
What can you ballpark, kind of what your caloric intake was if you were to guess?
At OU?
No, right now.
Right now?
Where you're sitting, what are you trying to take in? I mean, for a guy your size, 4,000 calories, 5,000?
Yeah, it's around 5,500. If I'm trying to gain, I mean, it's fucking, hey, there is no limit.
Okay, so now that we're in the off season, like, what are you doing with your body? I mean, now what happened with the wheel? Because
I'll show you. Yeah, I about got taken off.
Yeah,
second time.
That was nasty.
Yeah. still fucked up. So I have a lot of scar tissue there built up right now.
Did you get it fixed? What did they do?
Oh, I'm still fixing it. Yeah, it's when you heal
But
that
you have to
ankle.
get cut.
No surgery.
Okay.
No.
Oh, you're lucky.
No, I'm good.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
I'm good. So, I damn forgot the question. The hell did you just ask me?
Oh, man, what are you doing with your body?
Right now. So usually, man, after a season, I stay, I'm in the right tackle position. So I'm pushing off this one leg, and so my body becomes so, asymmetrical. I'm out of line. My quad's over fine. My left side's not firing just because I'm in that position all the time. So really, it's about getting your body back into, I guess, right posture, get things firing correctly. And really, with what he does, it's all premeditated. So you're not trying to rah too fast during training camp. It's a slow, steady build, and you want to peak. December, January, February. That's when you want to play your best football. So, other than that, man, we're really big as far as what we lift. A lot of posterior chain because with what we do, we sit on our ass all day. People are always on their phones. You get hunchback. People walk around with their back pockets touching, and so you got to get that shit fixed. So, a lot of stuff, man. We do a lot of pulls, so we work a lot on that posterior chain. I think for me, I do a lot of reverse hypers just for my back. So just a lot of light stuff right now. We were doing some bodybuilding type stuff just to fuck around, try to look good.
Yeah, but you kind of have bodybuilding genetics. I mean, you're pretty genetically elite. Mm-hmm. Would you argue that?
Yeah, besides his hair. I mean, other than that, it's pretty damn good.
Dude, you didn't get the lifetime guarantee just like I did.
Hey, look like some hard-boiled eggs at this damn table.
Hey, man.
It is what it is.
When I first started losing my hair, I said, man, what the fuck am I going to do? Because this back in the day when everybody had to have long hair if you was going to be a pro wrestler. So I called the dude that broke me in because you always got to have a mentor, right? Just like JP kind of mentored you, right?
Yeah.
So I called him up. I said, hey, Chris, man, I said, I'm kind of starting to lose my hair. He goes, what do you think I should do? Well, he's just another dumbass wrestler. So what are you going to tell me? Some kind of life-changing, advice, which I thought he had. But he goes, fuck, I don't know. So I went down to Hair Club for Men, and this blonde chick, I sat on a stool. She just started combing through my hair with these wooden sticks. And she was wearing rubber gloves. It was all professional and shit. And then she goes, yeah, we can move this over here and we'll put this over there. And I'm sitting there, I ain't selling nothing, right? But I'm thinking, man, this is back in like 93. The technology ain't what it is today, nor what I know where it's at. But I'm like, ain't no way I'm getting no fucking hair plugs. So I started cutting my shit off.
Yeah, you get used to it.
I was listening to you tell a story, or I was reading about you telling a story. When your buddy finally had that come to Jesus moment with you when he said, hey, dude, what's up with the wig? And that's when you decided to shave your head.
He said, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. So did it hurt your feelings, or did you?
No, he saw a picture. It was a football picture. I think at OU. I think my senior year. He said, "Bro, are you balding?" I said, "Fuck no." Goddamn.
Hey, but see, how bad does that crush you when you hear that?
It's the worst shit you ever hear.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there. I'm taking another glance at that picture. I said, "Fuck, he's right." So after that, hey, you go first round. You got that pressure on you. I'm sitting on the bench, man. I'm just there's a picture of me. I think at Tampa Bay, my rookie year. My hair's all flopping. I just got a big ass fucking bird's nest right here. I said, man, this shit's got to go. So after that, it was a wrap.
I was in a hotel. We was in Pittsburgh, as a matter of fact, and I was riding with Gold Dust. I was fixing to work Mellon Arena.
Dusty Rhodes?
Yep. But the son, my mom went to high school with Dusty Rhodes in Austin, Texas. She was a senior when he was a freshman. And I was looking at myself, and when they brought me out of WCW, I had long hair, and I had a buzz cut like Bruce Willis did in Pulp Fiction. I know you know your movies. And so I had that buzz cut, and I didn't have the goatee yet, and I wasn't that menacing looking, kind of baby face, kind of still. And I said, man, look at this shit. And I had that
Widow's peak.
What do you call them? You call them something in one of your
cul-de-sacs.
Cul-de-sacs, man. I had them big-ass cul-de-sacs. And I said, man, fuck this. I said, I ain't going nowhere. Let me just shave this shit off. And I got to the building. Everybody said, man, Steve, why'd you shave your hair off? Oh, fuck, it was that long anyway. What's the difference? Yeah. Then I grew I grew this in. I started growing the stash, and then I had the connectors.
I had to hope. It started to come together.
It started to come together, and that's when I come up with the Stone Cold Steve Austin thing, so it ended up working for me. When did you decide to grow this shit in?
Well, I shaved that shit off one time, and I looked like a soft-shell turtle, son. Look like
too much real estate.
Looked like my chin got shot off.
It did, because, man, when I take this shit off, I did Longest Yard with Adam Sandler, and all of a sudden I'm thinking, okay, I'll do this movie, but I only got a few lines because I don't like to memorize nothing. And they said, hey, Steve, to be a prison guard, you have to take the goatee off, and your mustache can only come down to here.
Look like Hitler.
And I'm thinking, no, I just look like an idiot. And so, and all of a sudden, man, I shaved my shit off, and then your mustache has to be trimmed, to right, it can't go below your lip, and I look like a fucking idiot. So, I grew up, and that's when I met my wife at the World Gym, which is right down the road.
Yeah.
And my buddy was the guy that run the front desk, and he knew my wife just from a different gym. And she teach special ed. And one of her students had brought a WWF calendar and hung it up. It was my month. And she recognized me, and she says to my buddy Dan, she goes, "Hey, is that Stone?" Because she didn't watch wrestling. Yeah. "Is that Stone Cold Steve Austin guy?" Because I didn't have my shit on. And he goes, "Yeah." And she said, "Do you think he'll come read to my kids?" "I don't know. Go ask him." So, of course, when I approached her, as she speaks now, it's like I was interrogating her like a damn cop on the side of the road or something like that. But anyway, what, you got another story?
No, I said I bet you liked it. She didn't know shit about wrestling. That was pretty refreshing, huh?
That was good, man, because I think we met at the perfect time.
Yeah.
And the fact that, I think all teachers are special, but the fact that she was a special education teacher, man, I've been divorced a couple times. Yeah. Man, this is a match made in heaven because she understands me.
Yeah, you understand.
And communication is one of her strong suits. Yeah. And for me, I'm one of those guys.
I bottle my shit up and, hey, like to head on, talk every now and then.
Dude, after years of being on the road and sweeping shit underneath the carpet, we don't need to go into details.
Yeah.
My wife, hey, man, whatever's up, is she going to get to the bottom of, and we're straight.
Every stone's going to be unturned?
Yeah, she's the best thing that ever happened to me.
Today we're welcoming back IP Vanish to the show. So what is IP Vanish? IP Vanish is a virtual private network, a VPN for short. And a VPN is a super important tool that helps you safely browse the internet. You can use a VPN on your computers, tablets, phones, even things like your Fire Stick when you're streaming media. When you use a VPN, all your data is encrypted. What you're reading, what you're searching, what you're watching, whatever it is you're doing. That's important because what you're doing on the internet isn't my business, and it's no one else's business either. IP Vanish helps you remain anonymous and secure on the internet. IP Vanish is just $3.49 a month. For just $3.49 a month, or $27.99 a year, you can help protect your online privacy and security. Now, here's everything you need to know. Anonymous IP addresses. This means your personal IP address can't be tracked by anyone on the web. You can circumvent any online censorship. IP Vanish has more than 1,500 servers in 70-plus locations. Get protection when using public Wi-Fi. Remember, with IP Vanish, all your data is encrypted so no one can snoop on what you're doing. 24/7 support. Email them, chat with them, even call them. They're there to help. If you remember, these guys supported the show a few weeks ago. They've come back with an even better deal, wanting to offer something special for the new year. You're getting 65% off now. So go to ipvanish.com/Austin to claim your 65% savings. They have plans starting at $3.49 a month or $27.99 a year. This is the time to sign up. With our discount and their current promotion, you can get a VPN for 65% off their usual offering. IP Vanish is the best of the best, even rated 4.7 out of 5 on Trustpilot, and that's with more than 6,000 reviews. Show these guys some love. They're repeat sponsors. Remember, it's ipvanish.com/Austin to get the deal and start protecting yourself online.
Tell me about the combine, because you blew the combine away. What, 2013 or was 2011? 13. And so you was the best at everything but the bench press. And here's this physical specimen. I love to watch the combine every year because I'm a football junkie.
That's how I was.
And then everything dries up. And then the Super Bowl happens because playoffs already done in college. You got the national championship. You got 2 weeks for the Super Bowl. Super Bowl's over, Jonestown, right? Mm-hmm. And so you ain't got no fix. Then all of a sudden they start playing the combine. So you go there, I'm just entranced by it, and they cover it, man. And they go over you guys with the microscopes. And I've had my share of injuries. Hell, if it wasn't for baling wire, duct tape, and pieces of bubble gum, I'd still be in pieces all over the world. But when they take you guys there, and those teams are looking to make a hell of an investment in their future. Yeah. But tell me about the pressure just going into that and how the process was for you. Yeah. And one more question on top of that. Did you go in with pressure on you, or would you just kind of footloose and fancy free because you didn't feel like you had anything to lose?
That was the easiest part because the biggest question mark for me is, can I go against SEC? They want to see me against other schools. So my combine was really the Senior Bowl. So had a great week there, and I knew going to the combine I'm about to blow this fucking lid off the place. So I was excited. But going into the combine, it is designed to pressure you. It is all about you don't have any time to yourself. They give you a schedule, 8 to 10. No, it's fucking 8 to whatever. You're going to be in meetings every night till late as they can. You're going to get up early. They drug test you, 3 or 4 in the morning, and then you go. So that's like the last day. So you're not doing all your testing till the very last day. So you're already there the whole week. And during that week, you're meeting with the coaches. They're putting you up on the board. They're trying to put you under the pressure cooker and see how you react. And all these questions, they already know the answers to. So you go into these meetings and lie. And they got a camera in your face. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, but when you say they drug test you, are you talking about street drugs? Like
yes,
I
think all at the combine.
Okay.
So, and they tell you it starts at 5, and then they say, well, if you got to piss in the middle of the night, you can go down there. So get up 3 o'clock, and the whole damn room's full. So that's how the week starts, and it's nonstop meetings. You know who you're meeting with, and I mean they go. So I remember the first meeting I had was with the Chiefs, and they had the number 1 overall pick that year. And I go in there, and they have it's my first start. We're playing Florida State. It's my first start at tackle ever. I'm out there late off the ball getting my fucking ass whooped. And Andy Reid goes, well, Lane, what can you tell us what's going on here? I said, son, looks like I'm getting my damn ass whooped, don't it? And they didn't know how to react, I guess.
Yeah.
So they started laughing. But really, that's what they did. They go in there. They want to put a name to the face, see what your personality's like. I mean, they have these guys just monitoring your body language at every little step you take, and they write these detailed, going back, I've seen like scouting reports, and they write it all. If you're cocky, if you're full of shit, and like I said, they've already talked to all the coaches of Oklahoma, and they talked to the people, the janitor, and they want to know how you treat, nothing you can hide. So, but after that, yeah, going in, I knew I was going to run well. Bench, I was disappointed because my first day of training, I did 30, and only the combine I did 28. So, but for me, bench press really don't mean a whole lot. I guess in football, I've seen a lot of guys strong as shit. I think when it comes to football, core strength is one, and balance and body control for what I do. But really, I think for linemen, what they're looking at, they look a lot at the 10-yard split. They want to see explosion out of stance, the broad jump. And really, they want to see how you are on the board, see how much you can retain information. So a lot of football terminology is pretty similar, but it'll be different names. So instead of a T block for one team, maybe a deuce block and so they'll put you on the board, and they'll have different names for their system, and then they'll race it real quick and put it back on, draw the defense, and then they have a video of it all. So it's
Did they ask you any of those weird questions that you always read about a couple days later?
Yeah, they asked. It was the year that Teo was coming out, and they had the whole girlfriend shit, and they asked me if I had a real girlfriend at the time. I said, I got a real wife, I think. And so that's the only weird question they had.
Were you married at the time?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got married. So I got married right before the combine, right before the draft. So that's how. Yeah. Oh yeah, it went by fast, buddy.
Well, how old were you?
22.
Yeah, that's early.
Yeah.
Hell, I got married at 25 and I was divorced at 26. So I got that going for me.
Good.
You ever need any help, you just call me. Hey, so you kick ass, you turn a lot of heads, you blow a lot of people away, and then the draft comes and you go in the first round, number 4 spot. Shit. Man, that's awesome. You got to be proud of that.
Yeah, but it's just, if you could have seen where I was in Oklahoma, they could have told the story better than I could, because I didn't play till my junior year, late, new position, so it all came by fast. So, yeah, and next thing I know, man, I'm in Philly. It's an intimidating town. You go in there and
But what did you think when you first heard the word Philly? Because you're a Texas dude from East Texas, and you hear Philly. When coming up, were you a fan of any specific pro team?
Yeah, I was a Brett Favre fan, so I was a Green Bay Packer fan.
Okay.
I liked the way he played. And I liked his demeanor, country dude. I feel like he was, I just liked his energy that he played with. So yeah, going in, I thought for sure it's either going to be Miami or Philly for a meet with them, and then our coach at the time, or right now, Jeff Statler, O-line coach. He was the offensive line coach for Alabama. So I was meeting with him all throughout the draft process, and I was like, I have a feeling these guys are going to take me if Miami doesn't. So the third pick comes up on the board, and they have a camera in front of myself and Deion Jordan, and my agents go, well, looks like we're going to Miami, and we fucking slap hands, and Deion Jordan. I said, no, we ain't. As we sit back down. Next pick, Philly picks, and man, they always talk about, what'd you hear on the phone? When you get that call. I didn't hear shit. I couldn't hear who it was. It was loud. I didn't know who I was talking to. Hung up, and hey, there it was. And so, going to Philly.
Was that just nerve-wracking when you watching?
Yeah,
it happened fast for you because you went 4.
Yeah, it goes by fast, and just my dad's never been to New York City, so and I was walking around. I asked him, is that the Empire State Building? He said, yeah, I think so. He said, fuck what I know. I'm just a dumbass from Romare, Texas.
Yeah.
So it was fun just have my family up there and never had that kind of experience. So it was cool.
It could have turned out bad because, I mean, just like Aaron Rodgers, he thought he was going to go with, or everybody thought he was going to go at this certain spot and just kept going on and on and on.
Yeah.
There's a couple of guys that have had that. And some of it was due to, some not good choices.
Yeah.
But sometimes guys just fall and it's like, hey, man, well, where the fuck am I going?
Mm-hmm.
So you said going to Philly, and you said it's in I love to wrestle in Philly. Philly fans have always been very good to me.
Yeah.
So when you go there and all of a sudden you embrace you always talk about, like, football in Philly is a lot like football in Texas.
So it's a religion. Yeah.
So they take that shit serious. And you said it was intimidating.
Hell
but,
yeah.
dude, you're coming from OU, which is an intimidating program.
It's intimidating. And then I have Jason Peters, who's left tackle, so I'm supposed to be succeeding him. And, he's one of the best of all time, if not the best. And so I'm supposed to emulate that guy. Okay, don't fuck up. Don't have a bad play, because as soon as you do, all them summits there are going to try to get you off your game if you pay attention to it. But, I mean, really, I think the toughest year I had was, really just the rookie year, because you go there because it's 2 years in one. You play your whole college season, and then you have the draft process, combine, and you don't really have any time off, and then you're in OTAs, and then it's football time again. So, long year, long 2 years.
To me, playing high school, playing high school football, it was just a blast because you're out there. I mean,
we're your buddies.
I saw some of your tape. Y'all played a lot more scientific game than we did. And you're the QB, and then you go to junior college. I thought, man, that was even, if not, it was just a sidestep. There was no more pressure to it. When I went to North Texas, now they're Division I, it was Division II back then, but there was more pressure there, and you had to do something, or they got a lot more money invested in you.
Yeah.
So you go from high school, Kilgore, OU, now pro style. What was the biggest change in pressure with responsibility and athletic talent you are now facing, because that is the elite of the elite?
Yeah, so I remember, I was a big combine guy, so all these guys' numbers you're about to go against, and so sometimes you get too much in your head. I feel like I was in my head a lot, and as a rookie, and really, I hate to say it, but you have to take your ass whoopings and learn from them, and that's really how you grow as a player. So took a lot of those my rookie year. A lot of it's assignment errors. But, I think that maybe the biggest jump is probably offensive and defensive line from the pros to college, because everybody's pretty damn fast in college. You have your speed. When it comes down to savviness and brute strength, and, this is the best of the best. This isn't, I'm playing Texas one week and I have the week off next week against some team. So that's the biggest thing. You have to be consistent every week. And, one thing about these guys, like I said, the intelligence of them, the stances, shit you get away with in college, you can't do that now. They read on your stances. They read on your eyes. everything is – it's out there. It's all black and white, and these guys, all you do is play football, and all these motherfuckers do is watch film and scout you. They know what you're about. So that's one thing I love about football, is that it's all black and white right out there for you. You can't bullshit it. Your effort, everything you do is shown on tape, and so you can talk all the bullshit you want. The tape's going to prevail, and they say the eye in the sky doesn't lie.
There's a thing. Brock Lesnar decided he didn't want to play football. Brock Lesnar decided he didn't want to be in the wrestling business anymore, so he figured go out and try out for the Minnesota Vikings. Okay, Brock Lesnar, I don't know if you've ever met him.
Built like a damn silverback.
Man, that dude is nothing but a grade A+ genetic freak, and just fast, quick, strong, 2-time All-American. Hell, he was UFC heavyweight champ. So anyway, my point is, he didn't play a whole lot of football, at all. He was a wrestler. So he goes up there and damn near makes a team, but it's a guy like that where you could take this freak physical specimen of kind of which you are the same, but if the other person is just about as strong or just about as quick, but they have all the technique, the savvy, the learning, and the tricks, you're going to get taken to school. Yeah,
and there's a lot of players like that. Whatever they may lack athletically, that they can make diagnose a play a lot sooner and get there. That's what I'm saying. So all these scouts, that's what they do. They devote their lives to breaking down these players, but yeah, if you can get a player has good genetics, like I'd say like Luke Kuechly, the guy was so smart, and he used to call it every damn play before we ran it, and that's What did you think when he announced his retirement this past year? Because he was a guy that I really admired. Yeah,
he had a few, and I'd seen him lit up on the sidelines that one time. He just had that look of fright on his face. It was one of many that he'd had, and it just scares the shit out of me because I might have had one or two in my day, but not like that. What did you think when he announced that retirement?
I think you kind of get heartbroken for the guy because you know what that game means to him, and for him to say that he's done with it.
And he's so young.
He's so young, but it means, I mean, these hits take a toll on you.
Yeah.
But I think if he's doing, I think it's the smart decision. You know, Calvin Johnson did similar. You know, guys retiring early. Patrick Willis. Hats off to them, man. Because hey, after it's all over, you know, hey, shit goes on. It always
Hey, man,
does.
I thought I kind of got a bug up my ass when Andrew Luck announced his retirement. We started crawling all over him. I'm like, hey, man, that dude's ankle
they don't know.
up.
They don't know.
Yeah,
his arm. Yeah.
Here's a guy. I mean, he loves the game. He's obviously a super smart cat. He's really good at it. And he decides to step back just because he wants to not have a shit pile of pain or whatever, or deal with everything he's dealing with. I respected his decision.
Everybody gets to the point where they've had enough, and he's been a guy that's obviously the franchise guy can do it. But you take, you know, he's always rehabbing. You know, he goes out there, gets rehab, does well, gets injured again, over and over. Man, that does a lot to you. Fucks you up.
Hey, man, now that we know so much more about, not we, I'll say they, about the concussion, CTE concussion protocol, like I said, I've had one or two, but it was never a thing for me. It was just me getting dropped on my head and damn near getting paralyzed, which was my, you know, deciding to ride off into the sunset. You had a concussion this past season. I guess there's 5 steps to a concussion protocol. Take me through the concussion protocol if something like that, and it did happen to you. What do they do? How does it all work?
Well, they take you to the sideline. They put you through some different standard testing. And the thing that they changed about it is that now they have it's like a pre-concussion test. So you take a test out of season, and you have a baseline score for all these different factors: reaction time, memory, recall. And so they have that baseline, and throughout the process, I mean, obviously, if you're concussed, you stay out the game. And throughout that, you have to – first of all, it's symptom management. You have a score. And then a lot of it, to get cleared, you have to go see a neurologist, and you have to beat that baseline test, which isn't – you know, it's not a bullshit test. You actually – I mean, I think they're doing pretty well with it compared to what it was, I think, a long time ago.
What's the baseline test? They're asking you questions?
Yeah. So it's a computer test. So it's different. Like I don't know what's the best way to do it.
Is it response time?
Yes. Yeah. So it measures your response time. A lot of it's memory recall. So they'll have like 9 different shapes with numbers under them, and you'll have to remember what the shape is. You know, related to the number. So what is arithmetic? Is that what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So a lot of that.
Speaking of arithmetic, how did you do on? It takes me back to the combine. One of the questions I wanted to ask you: did you have to take the Wonderlic test?
Yes.
Did you? What was your score?
I think I scored a 28 there or a 30. One of those.
Damn near genius.
Oh,
that's smart. I mean, that's a high Wonderlic score. I don't want to call you a genius, but obviously it's a very high score.
Yeah, I ain't that.
There's quarterbacks that don't score that.
Yeah. I mean, it's so.
What's the highest you can score?
50.
Shit, I think I might hit. I don't even know if I'd hit double digits.
That shit, it don't matter. It doesn't. I don't think it correlates.
It worked out okay for me. Hey, you were in when you were at OU, you were there for human relations. Was your major?
Yeah. HR.
What were you gonna do with that?
I was in health and exercise science, and that's what I wanted to do. And then they had a class called anatomy there that was really fucking serious. This professor was really tough, and I had my class was going to block those fucking 9 techniques because I knew where I wanted to go. But yeah, it's
anatomy class had you.
Well, it's one of those
sticking point for you.
A lot of these guys weren't passing. I mean, this teacher didn't bullshit around, and it was. I mean, you had to do your homework, and for what I was doing, man, you don't have a whole lot of time. I mean, it's
no.
For what my goals were, so yeah, I still have 3 hours left to graduate. So there's that. Man,
I left with 17. 3's really close. When I dropped out, I would have been the first of my family to graduate from a 4-year degree, and it broke my parents' heart.
Yeah.
But hell, I was going to go into insurance business. I thought I had to, be a business major. My dad sold insurance for a living, and he graduated from Rice University, and he played football. They went to the '58 Cotton Bowl. This is back when Rice was actually a program in the Southwest Conference, and scored the only touchdown in the 21-7 loss against Navy. So I figured I'm going to go into insurance business with him, and algebra 2 and accounting are kicking my fucking ass. So I just said, hey, fuck it. I'll turn into a PE major. And anatomy, physiology, kinesiology all work for me because I was interested in and I could see how everything worked. So I did okay. But when you did those labs and you had to start naming those parts in the brain, that's when I started getting real close to that smart dude that was in the class. And I started copying him on his test.
Yeah.
And so I got through anatomy.
Yeah.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
By God.
So are you going to go back and get your degree?
You know, mom would like me to, but I think my class I got to take is pre-cal, so I guess we'll see. We'll see about that.
Shit. I think, well, you know, here's one of the things I've noticed about you. I know you give back to the community. You do a lot of stuff with the schools there in the Philadelphia area. Also, the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia.
Chop.
And so I always tell everybody I did not get a college degree, but if any kid ever asks me any opinion of mine, I say, hey, man, to go out in the world armed with as much information, armed with as much information, give you your best chances at survival and succeeding. So I always preach, go as far as you can, as far as whether it's trade school, learning how to weld, or spending yourself up on schoolwork.
Just getting educated, and it's about forming relationships. I think along the way, it's what it's all about.
And, I mean, with what you're doing right now, dude, I mean, you could tell me different, but, I mean, with all the stuff that you guys do with film study, learning, plays, all the playbook, man, we talked about the JUCO guys, some guys that just ain't quite there.
Yeah.
I think to really be successful, you have to be such a supreme physical specimen that you can just out-dominate everybody or have a knack for the game. Or you damn sure at that level you got to be pretty fucking intelligent.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. There's a lot of dumbasses walking around. Hey, sometimes I'm
but they're genetic freaks.
Hey, yeah, exactly. I would say along the offensive line for what we do, a lot of it's you have all these different schemes, you have all these different calls, and you have to be on your shit at the right moment. So a lot of it's just like it's competing under pressure. But that's what I love about the game is that I'm relying to that guy next to me, and a lot of what I do as far as blocking defensive line is, a lot of chess. Because sometimes they may run a game, sometimes they, set up a different presentation, but it's all fun.
Yeah, but I'm watching you on YouTube. You're talking with Coach Brian Bellick, and then Ron Jaworski. I used to love Jaworski, and you're breaking down. You're telling what's going on here. So when I'm watching you, I'm not watching a dummy diagnose his plays. I'm watching a guy who knows what's up.
Yeah, I mean, we have that phrase, I don't fear the man who practices 10,000 kicks or one kick. That's 10,000 kicks once, or I fear the man that practices one kick 10,000 times. So that's all I do, man. That's all we do is play football. So after a while, you get pretty decent at it.
Hey, talking about that, just as far as Jason Peters' influence on you and how he was so open and sharing with you, and you guys just all put him over as like it's a supreme stud.
I'll tell you, yeah, he is.
So
I'll tell you a story. So yeah, my first story at training camp, I'm coming in. They want me at 315. All this, I'm struggling my weight. And this so much gets done working out, and he's in his cold tub shorts. He gets on that scale, it says 360, and he ain't fat, buddy. And then so you see a guy that big, and you think there's no way this guy can move. And I was like, this guy can fucking move as fast or maybe faster than me. And so he's undrafted, and he goes to the Bills, and they have him as a tight end at 330 pounds. And they have him as a wedge buster. And our special teams coach, Dave Phipp, he's like, he's the only son of a bitch I've seen that bust a 4-man wedge. I said, hey, I fucking believe it. The guy can barely fit through that door. But he's a down-to-earth country guy. He's from Queen City up there by Texarkana, Arkansas. So, yeah, just having him just kind of like a big brother. He's pretty – what I like about him is that with football, people can teach you all this. There's only a certain amount of shit you can take with you before a play snap. So he likes to keep things pretty simple. And one thing he told me is that, 9 times out of 10, if you have a good presentation to the defensive end, which is if you have a good low base and fast feet, you're going to win most of the time. If you get out there and you're laid off the ball, simple stuff, but not a good thing.
When did you develop that kick step that you have that gets you so far back or wide, or so that incoming defensive end or what? Tell me about
through
that.
him. Yeah, it was through JP. So I go in. The guys. What's funny is that he's not even looking like seems perif. He has his head like this, and he can still perif that ball. But I notice he's always beating the snap count. And so when you talk about defensive end, a lot of times their lives, if they get that first step, that's a sack. You get that tackle's shoulders turn, so it's over. That guy's beating the D end off the ball every time. He may get some false starts every now and then, which I get a lot of them too. But it's the name of the game. It's all about if you explode to the spot that you're going to meet the defensive end at, you have a lot more time to react. You have a lot more time to build your foundation, so to speak, and get ready to whatever that D end's going to do to you.
Are you a guy that talks trash during the game? Because I'm a huge fan of Lawrence Taylor. In my opinion, he's the greatest linebacker to play the game. And so I'm that guy. And, man, that dude, of course, I was a kid watching him. And we're going way back. But, man, that dude just was nothing but straight-up chaos. He would hand you your ass and then tell you about it. And he was always teeing off on Jaworski. Yeah. So, anyway, are you a guy that talks trash out there, or is a guy or does it affect you if someone's talking trash to you? Or, I mean, you're a guy.
I usually don't talk shit unless somebody smarts off. If they get, somebody's going to smart off to me, I'm going to fucking get at them, and then here we go the rest of the game. So, but yeah, I mean, every now and then shit happens out there. You can't, guys coming to bull rush the fuck out of you. They say something to you. I'm going to say something back to you.
You've are noted as being a very, very outspoken guy, and the past it's always seems to be the wide receivers or this, that, or whatever, and most of the time it's not the offensive lineman. So, but you are that guy, and so you.
Man, a lot of times I get myself in trouble. But fuck, I'm just coming off the hip with it. Sometimes it's kind of genuinely how I feel. I try not to backtrack too much because usually it's genuinely how I feel, and I think my approach can be different sometimes.
But were you always like that? Or because my question is, I know you're a big Conor McGregor fan, and you kind of study his game a little bit. And that guy talks a lot of trash, but I think, and I may be paraphrasing you, but, and putting yourself out there, it forces you to back at you.
Yeah, well, I think if you talk that shit and then they think, oh, he's bullshit, and then you go out there and they see it's not a fucking joke, fuck, that's hard to deal with.
Right.
And, hey, you got to pick and choose your battles in this league. You're not just going to fucking King Kong your way everybody. Every dog has his day. But I don't know. What I liked about him, I think what really stood out was that Aldo fight. He's going against Aldo, who's 10 years undefeated, and he's never been talked to like that. And so a guy's never been talked to like that gets talked to like that, and he's going, what the fuck is going on? And then he gets in the ring and sees that it's not bullshit. And what's cooler than that?
I think I thought he got in his head.
Yeah.
I thought he got in his head.
Yeah.
Did you see the last fight against Cowboy Cerrone when you hit him with those left shoulders?
Yeah, he was, wow.
I couldn't believe it.
I've never seen that either.
I never either.
Yeah, I didn't know you could do that. Well, hey, you could.
Yeah, and effectively, and like Cerrone's a badass.
Yeah, Cerrone is bad son of a bitch.
What do you like to watch on TV? I mean, I know you're a big movie guy, but do you follow the sport? Because don't you train with some UFC guys?
Yeah, so that's where I met him. He was actually at Unbreakable at Jay Glazer's gym.
Where's Jay Glazer's gym at? Because I know he's
Pink Taco there in West Hollywood.
Okay.
Pink Taco. So that's where I met him at. So I went out there just to try it out. I watched UFC, but I wanted to get out there. I think it was Clay Matthews was grappling or doing some MMA training with Jay. I was like, man, I want to go try this. So I went out there, man, and first couple of days, man, I was getting fucking ragdolled. You want to talk about cardio? There's nothing more tiring than wrestling. Fuck, you did your whole life. Wrestling some bitch in the ring serious for, 3-5 minutes on end, wears your ass out. So I just remember the first couple of days, I was just puking my ass off. And the guys that I'm going against aren't bigger than me, but they're just wearing my ass out. And so I think it was a humbling experience for me. And then just seeing how those fighters train and how they have all these different coaches and what their schedule's like. And I'm like, I think football's tough. And I'm seeing these guys, what they do. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable what they go through.
So are you still doing that?
Well, I did that one summer. Now I just talk about what I used to do.
But did it help you in any way, shape, or form?
I think with getting leverage, like the pummeling, getting your guard, I think if you train low, I think it's going to help you out with football. But a lot of it was just, I guess, the mindset, just being around those guys. That's what I wanted to see because, football is a team sport, but I have a lot of one-on-one battles, and so it's really the way I see it. I'm one-on-one against the defensive end. So I like being around great competitors, see what makes them tick, and, a lot of times you can learn a lot just being around people like that, successful, and it's just enlightening. It was cool to be around those type of people.
Hey, one of the things I was very interested in, let's talk about your thoughts on the Super Bowl that just happened with Kansas City and San Fran.
I watched the first quarter. I was on the road driving.
Were you?
Yeah.
Did you listen to the game? Or did you get a chance to watch a replay?
Yeah, I mean, I was on my phone to see the score. My coach in college, Bruce Kittle, his son's George Kittle. So I wanted it for him. But then again, Winchester was my good friend at OU. A couple guys at OU. Williams, the running back. So I didn't mind who won, but it felt good to see James win.
But so you didn't see the game?
No.
Okay, there goes that question. Because I was going to ask you about, well, I don't mention names, but some people say, hey, this is why this team won or this why that team won. And the way I took it was San Fran won all the games that they won as a team. They lost the ones they lost as a team, and so they lost that one as a team. I just didn't think there should have been any player or coach pointing. And Kansas City.
Well, hey, there's got to be something to talk about. That's what they do.
Well, I know, but I know. But hey, man, I didn't think it was a coach that blew the game. I think, like you guys always say, and it's almost an automatic response or cliche. We didn't make enough plays.
Fucking obviously.
That's the bottom line.
That's all you can say, man.
What are you going to say?
What can you say?
Yeah. Remember one time when Baltimore went, the dude fell down on that long sideline route. I mean, that was on that guy just because he fell down and there wasn't nobody there. Yeah. But that's a long time ago and I can't remember the rest of the damn play. I want to know about sometimes what happens because it's been a long time since I played college football. I never played at the level you did, at the level you're playing at now, which is the elite level. So you guys go into halftime. Let's just say you're kind of getting your ass handed to you. Halftime adjustments. Mm-hmm. How do they break that locker room down? And what are you guys talking about? Is it Doug in there, Coach Peterson, in there laying the smack down first, or are you going to your offensive line coach or offensive coordinator and trying to – you tell me what the process is.
Yeah, so
I always wanted to do because that's what I'm looking for come a third quarter.
Yeah, so you go in the locker room. You have the defensive side. They have their projector set up with all their chairs. All defensive guys sit over there. Usually defense coordinator. Usually the coaches are meeting for a little bit. So you get in there and you have your bananas. You have your fucking Excel gels.
Get some
energy up, Gatorade. And then you have about 5 minutes for the coaches in there. Offense coordinator with us. Doug and Stoutland O-line, and we'll just we don't have video, but we have clips of the game, some shit that they may have done or surprised us with, and so we'll say, hey, we're going to change this on this protection, so we'll make an adjustment in there, and then we'll have a game plan. Okay, we're going to keep pounding the inside zone because it's been working. Eventually, going to break, so it's really huddle together. You got your little projector, and then it's the halftimes aren't very long, so it's not long for you back out there on the field. So get some fluids in you, get a couple bananas in you, get the game plan, and here we go. It's back out there playing again.
What was the most motivating halftime speech that you got? Someone having to light a fire in your ass, whether it was college, JUCO, or pro level, because I've got one for you. I'll go first. Yeah. We was there's mixed company in the room, so this story with some profanity in it. But this was one of our halftime speeches, and so I was playing linebacker. We was down there getting our ass handed to us on Saturday night. It was in winter. It was cold and rainy, and we was freezing our ass off, and on top of that, they was kicking the shit out of us. So we go in there, and, of course, we're in the away dressing room, which is about as big as this room, so it's a whole team. And then Tom Adams, he was a defensive line guy. He played at Rice University, and he was the last guy that the Oakland Raiders cut way back in the day. So, I mean, dude was about 6'1", but he was about 320, and he was intense. And he wore braces, on his teeth. So he was scary. He was cool as fuck, but, man, when he started lighting up on you, you listen. Yeah. And so, man, he started ripping us a new one because they was running roughshod on us. Man, we was ragtag. I mean, it's JUCO football, man. Our red and white uniforms, and he goes, God damn it. He goes, you guys, tomorrow you're going to wake up with a butt full of cum. I'm like, God damn. I'm sitting over there like, I got my arm hanging off over here, damn near beat to shreds. I said, you're going to pile that one on me because we're getting fucked that bad. You're going to drop that dime in the form of motivation. I'm like, motherfucker, what am I doing here? How come I'm not at the University of Texas? Has there ever been that moment for you?
I've had some halftime
That's a topper,
speeches.
Right? Can you top that? I apologize to everybody in this room, but that's what the guy told us.
We've had some,
and we lost the game.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of. I remember it was our in high school. We ended up playing Alto. They ended up winning state. They beat the fuck out of us for junior. 50-7 is what the game was. But at the end of the game, he tells one of our buddies to break it down. Lord's Prayer. Yeah. He starts off, damn, I hate these Alto Yellow Jackets. And coach says, wait. He starts praying. And then, it was one of those things just like in Friday Night Lights when Dallas Carter was beating the fuck out of that team so bad. You ain't got nothing to say. That's where we were. There wasn't shit to say except, holy fuck. You can't say nothing to that.
Hey, when I used to get ready to go in the ring, are you standing up because we're on time limit? No. Okay. Before I go to the ring, I'll take that back. Hey, I was wondering about your pre-game rituals, if you had any, because back when I used to lace them up and go to the ring, I always put my right sock and my other sock on, and then my right boot, lace it up, and then put the left boot on. And then when I started taping my wrist, I'd always start with my left wrist because I'm right-handed. And if I didn't put my right boot on and lace it up, I mean, everything was going to fucking just shit the bed. So,
superstitious?
Are you a superstitious person? Do you have any rituals? What's the story?
My ritual is I used to put on my socks, my right one first, my left one, and then I got fucking fined because my socks kept sliding down below my knees, so it kept finding me. So now I wear some Under Armour long sleeve, and my socks are over top of it. So I'll make sure I got that. But another thing we started doing is that, usually before the game, your mind's fucking racing. So what I want to do is calm down. I want to be over emotional. And one thing that he did is they had these concentration grids. Sounds so stupid, but it's a grid with 0 to 100. All the numbers are scattered up, and you have a time limit. You try to focus, find 0, 0, then 0, 1, all the way up to 100. So it keeps you in the moment. It keeps you concentrating, and you really compete with yourself. But what I find it does, it calms my mind, so I'm not overthinking. Generally in football, a lot of times you fuck up, you're overthinking. Paralysis by analysis, you're scared of getting beat. I just try to fucking put it all aside and really, I try to calm down as much as I can.
Okay, because
I get amped up. Cause usually on game day, I get up. I usually 5:30. I'm on edge. Usually I go in the shower, dry heave a little bit, just get that nervous energy out, and I'm ready to go.
So are you eating pregame, or are you one of those guys don't like to eat?
No, I eat. Okay. I force feed. I don't ever puke like before the actual game, just when I wake up that morning. So that's how I've always been since college.
A lot of times I see them guys out there, UFC guys walking to the octagon with a set of headphones on. I figure that's an endorsement. I've seen the guys come off the bus that got the headphones on. I've seen you with them on. Okay, now is that an endorsement, or you listening to some tunes?
Listen to some tunes.
Okay, so what are you listening to?
Man, we have a lot of. Generally in my locker room, it's a lot of rap being played. So. I'm not playing Blue Clear Sky by George Strait. We're playing some sinister shit. I like to listen to some grunge, some Alice in Chains. Like to listen to Soundgarden, Nirvana, some rap mix in there. But usually, like what I was saying, what I found out is if I ever get too emotional or something before a game, it doesn't do good for me. So the less I think, and the more I stay in the moment, the better I am. I don't care about what fucking song's being played. Doesn't need to be played right before I walk there, because I start overthinking and start second guessing, doubting yourself, and that's really just out of fear of being beat when it comes down to. And everybody has that. It's natural.
I think, but sometimes, man, I know I wasn't a headphone guy back in the day, and it wasn't a thing back then. But to me, if I was listening to some of the shit that I listen to, if it ain't country, it's on the heavy side, and that's going to make me too high.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get too high. I need to think, like you just said.
Yeah. Hey, it's a fine line. You want to have that energy and that rage, but at the same time, you want to be composed. And it's a fine line you got to stay in between.
Hey, when you're inside the huddle, let's just say the game's going like you want it to go, and everything's running fine and dandy inside the huddle. Is it just, okay, Carson's starting quarterback, and just say he's in there.
Yep.
And all the regulars are in there. What's the status of that? What's the status of that huddle? Is he the only one speaking?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's either usually him or Kelsey. Kelsey will, he does a lot of times going to the line. He'll say, because everything.
And Jason is the center.
Yeah. And we'll ask, well, what's the snap count? That's generally what the fuck I'm answering most times. You ever see me talking, but yeah, usually the offensive line, you have the backs and receivers, and Carson's at the other end. Usually, we lean in there, see what the play is. A lot of times, you'll get the play. You may have an RPO, so it may be a run-pass option. And then, so you'll have that. You may have a different snap count. So that's really what I'm paying attention to. Snap count's really big for me. And then when I get to the line, I'm listening to what Kelsey's saying. If I have a call with Brooks, then we'll communicate. If I have a call with a tight end, then we'll communicate. And then it gets very difficult in away games. A lot of times you can't really hear a whole lot. So it's really, I'm coming face-to-face like this, hearing the play. So.
Okay, take me back inside that same locker room.
Yes.
Y'all are getting y'all's ass handed to you. Nothing's going the way it's supposed to be. Maybe you're on the road, or maybe you're playing in Philly, and it's even worse.
Yes.
Because you're losing. Back inside the huddle. What's up?
Our coach always says, focus for 4 seconds at a time. If you can do that, because you think of football as a 60-minute, game. It's not. It's really, 5 minutes of actual playing, 7 minutes actual playing if you count the, seconds of the play. So he tells you to just focus inside those 4 seconds. And really, There's a book called Relentless by Tim S. Grover. He used to be Michael Jordan's trainer, but he always talked about guys overthinking. And the key to it is if you can calm your mind and under the most tense moments and think clearly, that's when you'll get whatever you want done.
Are you a big reader, or are you an audiobooks guy?
Like audiobooks. He knows I'm a big YouTube guy, man. I love watching different podcasts, different clips, whatever interests me. A lot of it's fighters, so I just love hearing people talk shit. I love the press conferences. I love that shit. I mean, it's a lot of fun to me.
Hey, when you guys won the Super Bowl, was that 2017? Time escapes me. They always talk about how big the Super Bowl is, and I'm a football junkie. So, how was the experience for you? I mean, I know you got family that you're trying to get tickets for, spend time with, but I know you got your meetings, you got your media. But when you get out there on the field, like, are you nervous as a long tail cat in a room full of rocket chair? It wasn't magnified?
No, it was such a long fucking season. You're at the end, you're like, come on, motherfucker, I'm ready for it. Just, hey, whatever, let's go. I don't want to think about it no more. Because that season's so long, man.
Right.
You're talking about from June to fucking February. It's a long time, and you're doing football every day. So you get to that point. Super Bowl, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on, but what the coaches did a good job is try to keep it as normal a schedule as possible. So try to, they always talk about eliminate distractions. So, he told, handle the ticket situation early, so you ain't got to do that bullshit when you get there. So kind of, that's really what it was. So, I mean, we practiced at the Minnesota facility. It was, about 2 foot of snow outside. There wasn't a whole lot you could do. So we practiced, man, and then we did different events as a team. We would go out to eat and try to keep it a normal week. But, yeah, I mean, before the game, I remember it was a lot of guys were just loose because you had that feeling of what we could do. And I guess when you feel that, it's kind of when you know that you have a special team.
If you guys going out to dinner, is it just O-line? Because, I mean, that's a bunch of some bitches out there at dinner table.
Yeah, usually we do O-line dinners. When I was out there, I think I went out with Alshon and Torrey and some other guys. So, yeah, that was just an interesting week.
Finally, y'all get the big win, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now trying to chase another one. Can y'all get back there?
Yeah, we can get back there. I think when you look at our past 2 seasons, we've had everybody fucking out that you can have out. I'm talking about star players. And you can make all excuses you want. Did we accomplish what we want? No. But I can say I think if similar teams went through the same process of losing everybody, and I think a lot of teams would have folded. So I think we're resilient in that standpoint. I think we're hungry. I think, in Philly, as a player, you put up a lot of bullshit. You put up a lot of scrutiny, but, hey, it is what it is. You're getting paid lots of dollars. Hey, it is what it is. Yeah, it's just part of it.
Why was the left tackle always the glamour tackle position because of protecting
blindside
the blind side of the quarterback? It's because now right tackle is really a thing now.
Yeah, it's I think as these rushers started, the J.J. Watts, these different guys, the Khalil Macks, the Von Millers, as these guys starting to become more prominent, these guys are all over the right tackles, and so I think it was the Super Bowl with Carolina and the Broncos. Von Miller's having a field day, man, and it's really in this league. Coaches say, man, you can only hide for so long until somebody comes. I mean, and the way it is now, what a lot of teams are doing is they're building a jam on the fly. So you're lining up a guy mano a mano. So somebody's eventually going to get their ass whipped. And they find a leak in it, in the crack in the crevice. They're going to keep exposing it. So yeah, I mean, when you go look across the board, man, it's just the tackle position in general. It's really changed the dynamic. So left, right. I mean, everybody gets humbled out there.
Okay, now when you left Oklahoma, you was playing on the left side. You go to Philly, of course, you get Jason Peters from running the left side, so you go to right side.
Yeah, so the plan was to play right until JP retired. Hey, man, he's a dinosaur.
Stud dinosaur.
Prehistoric.
Yeah.
So
okay, if or when he retires, will they?
I think I'm gonna stay right.
Right.
And a lot of that, even when he would get hurt, they'd keep him right just because instead of changing 2 positions up, just change one guy up. So we've done that multiple times. I've had played some left tackle before earlier in my career, but really, man, it's just, hey, whatever job I got to do, you're going to do it, and that's it.
Hey, a couple random questions as we wrap this thing up. You're out here in L.A. Where are you off to next?
We're going to the Tyson Fury fight. So first big time.
Hey, where is that fight?
I think it's in Las Vegas, if I'm not mistaken.
I'll be damned. And is that this coming Sunday? Or?
Yep.
Who you got?
For 22nd. It is Sunday, isn't it? Saturday.
Who you got?
I want Fury to win just because, I mean, I follow him, but when you look at it, it's going to be it's damn entertaining. Both of them are pretty good personalities. When I see I think a better boxer with fury, you know, the way he moves and the way he's awkward and avoids those big punches, I think he's more technical. I think he's more polished. But you have that guy who's erased 41 guys out of 43. You stay stationary for too long in one spot. So I think that's why he's always moving and kind of creating those different angles so he can't get a good, powerful shot because, as you've seen the previous guys that walk straight for him, they get fucking like a Tennessee fainting goat out there.
Hey, I saw on your Instagram account you was hanging out with John Meadows. John used to work on some nutrition for me and some training routines. What did he teach you? Dude, he's intense.
He's really intense. So, yeah, I mean, this guy brought him there one day, and we went and worked out. And just, you know, even that bodybuilding side, you don't realize what those guys do to their body and how disciplined it is and how regimented they are with their, you know, their food, their macros, and their micro. You know, it's all scheduled. And really, man, he just really kicked my ass, to be honest with you. You don't, you know, those guys are the hypertrophy phase. They're doing lots of sets, lots of reps, and it's pretty intense. And they're all about time under tension and creating a big pump. But, yeah, just really it's just about meeting these guys, branching out. I think, you know, with competitors, and I see guys like the UFC, those guys that go through so much, and I see the bodybuilding realm and how they work out and how they train. I just thought it was pretty cool be around those type of guys.
Your personal vehicle, you driving a truck or a car or SUV?
I got a Honda Civic I drive around.
You're lying.
I'm a lying son of a bitch.
Hey, man, back when I was living in Atlanta, hey, you're tall, but I had a Honda CRX, and that somebody's got about 50 miles a gallon. Kevin Nash is 6'11" ass riding shotgun with me. There's a lot of room in those little motherfuckers.
Yeah, so I was in the Honda Civic before, so I moved downtown. I was at the Ritz at the time. I'm not a Ritz guy if you look at me. But I fucking pulled up there in that Honda Civic, and they looked at me like I was fucking Joe Dirt walking out there. But I drive a Raptor now, and I got a Carson Wentz sticker on the back.
Hey, man, how you like that thing? Because I was thinking about getting one, but that Blue Tech, Eco Tech, whatever the hell it is, turbocharged motor, I was like, I don't know about a 6 in a Raptor. But
yeah, I think they have V8s now.
I know they're going to a V8 in 2020.
Yeah, so that's what I want to get. So I mean, it still does a job. Hey, it can still get you a ticket.
No doubt. Want to. I drove a Roush supercharged 150 for a while. I mean, it was just for like 3 days, but it had like 650 horsepower, 610 on the torque, and I was lighting up these damn freeways.
Yeah,
I
like them because they're wide. It feels like you can really grip that ground. It feels
well. See, this was regular F-150 just with the Fox 2.0s on it, and the reason I was concerned about doing the Raptor here in L.A. with that extra width. Now you can't park, dude.
Nowhere.
That's why they drive a pickup truck.
Yeah.
You know, like you go to underground parking and fuck a lift kit because you got one, you ain't parking nowhere.
Yeah, it's how it is affiliate. Every time I go down there, I got to get an Uber. Or, you're not going downtown with it.
I'm the same.
Yeah.
So you dig the Raptor?
Yeah, I was in a mega cab before that. That makes you feel better.
Dodge.
Yeah,
Dodge got the mega cab. Hey man, I seen on your Instagram account you guys doing some commercials for Lincoln Financial Game Plan commercials. You and some of your teammates. Do they have someone that helps you guys with your financial planning? Because, you know. Yeah,
so as you get in the league, as a rookie, you have all these classes. So they have these financial advisors. You have your team going there. It's player personnel, and they educate you on all this, and they give you guys that have done it the wrong way, done it the right way, and the retirement's really good. In the NFL, they match it per year. So they do a really good job and that's changed, I think, over the past decade or so, where kids are a lot more educated. And they show you the guys that done it wrong and where it can lead, and then they show you guys that have planned it out and are doing really well. So I think the education's there, and it's in a good place.
Man, I mean, because I think it's so important, man. When you come from, hell, I came from nothing. You come from Groveton. I don't think y'all were just shitting money. All of a sudden, it's easy. If Mike Tyson can generate $500 million fighting and pretty much run through it, anybody can run through anything, and we've seen it happen.
I've been so used to living not, if I got something to eat and I'm good.
Same here. I mean, I still know the value of a dollar.
Yeah.
I mean, I can make a nickel squeal.
Yeah.
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 Hell, when I first met my wife, we go down to the grocery store. She busted out coupons. And I was like, man, and then this kind of like, I was still kind of like in stone cold mode. I was like, oh, man. Now when she busts them out, man, I got my chest stuck out. I'm proud as a peacock. I said, we got our fucking coupons.
Yeah, we got them here. Y'all gonna fucking wait in line until they count them all, too.
You obviously, we're going through our taxes next door. So, it's all about the old veterans used to always tell us, God damn it, kid, it ain't what you make, it's what you save. We used to always tell them, because back then you're making $15, $20 a night. Hey, fuck, you got to make some money to save it.
Yeah.
But hey, yeah,
back then you living for the minute. Hey,
yeah,
as long as you got a ride.
But a lot of guys, they want to spend on the gross. And then all of a sudden they don't count for Uncle Sam, or they don't count for the state.
It counts for them, though. Hey, it gets counted up eventually.
All of a sudden, one of my final questions, I was watching an old clip. You were playing with Darren Sproles. Darren Sproles, one of my favorite players of all time, just because I just love the way he played the game, whether it was returning, running back, something, scat back, catching balls out of backfield. How was he to play with? Because I think the guy's the best guy.
Yeah, just how you view him is how everybody else views him.
Yeah.
I don't know what year it was, but, I mean, ever since I've been there, he's been the guy. It doesn't matter if it's a walkthrough. It doesn't matter if it's a practice. He is full fucking speed all the time. He's not very big. And what's funny, man, you got some big-ass dudes online, and you got Sproles over there looking at everybody like this. I love watching him compete. I love how he ran, just how dynamic he was. Just going to miss him in the locker room, though. I mean, he's a guy that really – he's done it all, and he's done everything the right way. And
how long has he been in the league? 14, 15 years?
Yep,
it's been a long time because I've been watching him a long time, from Charger days on to everywhere he's been. I just think the guy's wonderful.
He is.
Hey, I have a note here on that Lincoln Financial Game Plan commercial that you showed great range as an actor. Is there acting in your future? I was kidding about the great range. I'm fucking with you.
Hey, I'm glad you did. You got me going. Hey, I thought about coming off that tightrope before, son. I've talked to old Jim Ross about this.
Hey, you know what? As a matter of fact, I was talking to our mutual good friend Jim Ross. This is years ago. You had just come into Oklahoma. They turned you into a tackle, and I was talking to him on the phone. He goes, "God damn!" He goes, "Every year, it's always our same conversation. It's football season." He goes, "Shit, Steve, our offensive line it's going to be a motherfucker this year." He goes, "We got this one guy, Lane Johnson. He is nasty. He is mean." So he really had high praise for you.
Yeah, he was there. It was always him and Toby Keith at the games. Funny story. So I remember it was my last game. We're playing A&M. Fucking Johnny Manziel's at the coin toss, and he goes, "Manziel's going to run all over y'all motherfuckers today." I said, "No." You said, "You think so?" Hey, he damn sure did. For about 300 yards. Hey, beat us like 41-13 last college game. But
hey,
good time.
I said it was going to be the last question. Before we have ask you to plug anything you want to plug, the XFL is in action because the NFL is on a reset before we start the next season off. Have you been able to catch any of the XFL action, and what are your thoughts?
When I saw them start interviewing motherfuckers after an interception or this and that, I was like, "This is I'm in. I'm sold." Because I could imagine what it'd be like if they did that to us, what we would say. So I think from a fan's perspective, you kind of get more in depth with that. The rules have changed, and at the end of the day, man, football is football. People love, and you have a lot of these guys are ex-NFL players or battling, and so I love watching it.
And a lot of guys trying to get a look, to get another look to get back in the league.
And Canada's like development league, and now you have this. They need this.
There was one guy, I haven't seen every game. I've watched some of them in a DVR, but Cardell Jones has been getting off.
Yeah, from Ohio State.
Yeah. And he was the guy back in the day. They've had so many guys come through there.
Yeah.
But he was that big, tall, statuesque guy that's going to throw the football.
Hey, I love it. It's especially when there ain't shit on. It's something fun to watch.
Last question. I know a lot of you guys in the pro wrestling. I bought this Bruiser Brody DVD over. A guy just sent this to me in the mail the other day. You remind me a lot about Bruiser Brody. Just same type, just big-ass, raw-boned dude with good genetics, and he was just like a powerhouse in the ring. Did you ever get a chance? He passed probably way before you got a chance to watch him. I'm going to send this to you when I get through with it because this is a guy, if you dig the business or anything like that, you would appreciate the way this guy operated.
What about it?
He was independent his entire life. He'd go over to Japan and stay for long tours. And then when he came back to the state, he would make towns for Bill Watts in Tulsa with Mid-South Power Pro, or he'd go to Atlanta, or he'd go to WWF. And he was that guy that never would sign with anybody. And, dude, he could be a nice guy, and he was a nice guy, but if he wanted to eat you up, mister, it was going to be a long night in the office.
Yeah. So
I'm going to send you this when I get done with it. Do you still follow the product at all?
It's been a little bit. It's just, with what I do now, I really don't follow a whole lot. It's just.
But Eric Fisher, who was drafted, right before you in the 13th draft? First. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because then it was number 2.
Jokel.
Yeah, from A&M.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, there he is in the playoffs. and there's an end zone celebration. He grabs 2 beers and pours them on his helmet, and the league fines him 14 G's.
Hey, good.
And I shit a brick.
He's a legend, son.
God dang.
Yeah, hey, you can't do that.
You kidding me? He didn't guzzle them. He just poured them on his head.
Yeah.
Do you think that was fine was warranted? Or is my answer not going to get you in trouble with the league?
Probably will. I mean, a lot of shit does. So, but obviously, do I enjoy it? Do the fans enjoy it? Yes. Does the NFL want that alcoholic or alcohol image presentation?
Then don't sell it at the goddamn games.
Well, tell them that.
I'm kidding. I thought it was funny as hell.
I enjoyed it.
I'm making light of it. I'm an NFL junkie, and I love the game.
We had Selleck, when we played Tampa Bay, he did the Captain Morgan celebration and got sponsored by him, but he got his ass fined for it. He put that foot up on that chest.
I love NFL, so I'm just kidding about that. I don't want to put you in any hot water on my show. What do you got upcoming? Plug your Instagram account. I know you're Lane Johnson 65 on Instagram, but talk about where people can find you or anything that you'd like to talk about before we wrap this thing up.
I'm about to go watch the Fury fight. I'm excited about that. I'm going back to Oklahoma. Plan on doing a lot of fishing there in the spring. That's what I like to do. So doing that, and then April I'm going back to Philly. So I got a nice setup. I got a gym out there in my barn. We call it the Bro Barn. None of my bros have been out there yet, but hey, it's coming. So got that going. Got a little setup in the garage, a nice sauna. So I ain't got to travel nowhere, man. I feel like when I'm most comfortable is whenever I'm training. I'm around my guys, and that's when I feel like I'm all is right with the world, I guess.
All right, looking forward to the upcoming season. Instagram, Lane Johnson 65, or is it /65? It's Lane Johnson 65.
Yep. 65.
Twitter, anything else?
Yeah, that's all
Last chance going once, twice,
Sold.
3 times, sold it. And that's the bottom line, because I said so. Lane Johnson, ladies and gentlemen. Lane Johnson.
This has been a Podcast One production. Download new episodes of The Steve Austin Show every Tuesday at PodcastOne.com. That's PodcastOne.com.
Hey, man, do you own or rent your home? Sure you do, and I bet it can be hard work. You know what's easy? Bundling policies with Geico. Geico makes it easy to bundle your homeowners or renters insurance along with your auto policy. It's a good thing, too, because you already have so much to do around your home. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. It's Geico easy. Visit geico.com today. That's geico.com.
This is Denny Somack, host of The Rock Podcast. I'm a producer, author, and rock historian, and I want to share with you some of the greatest stories in rock and roll.
Well, Bonzo was the best hard rock drummer ever, hands down. I mean, no one comes within a mile of him.
And I saw the Beatles on Ed Sullivan. John Lennon had this wise guy look on his face, just like being my friends were just a bunch of wise guys, street kids.
The first guitar I ever had was Spanish guitar, and I couldn't really get the hang of it. I was only 13.
I had never written a song before, actually, and so Jim says, okay, everybody go home and write some songs, you know. And so I went home and wrote Light My Fire.
Join me for The Rock Podcast, the only podcast that matters, from Podcast One or wherever you get yours.